excellent about finding traps, but I just want to be wary.
Donk nervous?
Donk nervous. You haven't, Rogar, you haven't been here before. There's all kinds of things that will drop or shoot or punch. You got to watch what you do.
So as you're rounding this corner, Donk, you start to see that there's a bunch of tattered clothing and damaged weapons, some battered armor, and a bunch of other debris that's basically lying on this floor. And in the middle of this room, there is a stone pedestal that's basically dominating the center of it. And on the top of this this pedestal, there is a glassy sphere, and it looks maybe about 8 inches to about a foot across. And this sphere is kind of just, you know, rotating, and looks like it has this energy that's kind of pulsing off of it. Not like any kind of lightning or anything like that, but it has like a light that it's illuminating, like a very light purple, and it also has sort of like, it looks like a planet orbiting, and it has a very thin layer of mist or smoke that's also rotating around it. But there's all kinds of debris, damaged armor, damaged weapons all over the place.
So the armor and the weapons are pretty much a indication that there's battle for me. So I'm gonna my giant weapon a lot harder than I'd normally grip, and I'm gonna turn around and whisper back to the group once I see this sphere. I'm gonna say, "Hey, I see some magic. Be quiet." And then I'm gonna move around a little bit to allow people to navigate into the room.
Sure.
And I want to stay back here a little bit from the from that sphere that's glowing and throwing off light, and I want to wait till people get around a bit and take a look at it.
Right. Yeah, and you're kind of looking around on the floor, and there's a lot of, you know, the weapons, they appear to be damaged. I mean, they would be salvageable, but nothing looks like of exquisite quality or anything. Now, to the south, you also see that there is another staircase. You can see a couple stairs that kind of descend back down in the darkness also.
Well, when I'm looking at these weapons, I want to look for, can I detect like how, maybe I'll do an investigation check. I want to just see how old are these weapons? Have these been littering this floor for thousands of years, or does it look fresh? Can I the blood's just barely clotted, or what kind of stuff?
No, it looks like different times, and you can tell that it is the types of weaponry that the different cults have used. You know, like the spears and the hooks and stuff like that. You know, so you can tell that all 4 different cults have been here, probably as like maybe a battlefield, maybe that the cults have used.
Okay.
It's not a very big one, of course.
I think I'll relay that. Yeah, I'm going to relay that to everybody.
So Growl,
just so everybody understands what's going on.
Growl and Ilsa and Rogar, what are you guys doing as you guys get into this room? Not to put you on the spot or anything, but
no, I'm looking around at these things, and they don't mean too much to me. It does look like there was a battle here, and then the shining light. I would like to see if I know what this light source is and why it's doing this.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like I said, it's like a sphere that's hovering over this pedestal that's several feet off of the ground, basically.
Dragonborn, now might be a good time for you to go ahead and step up there and see if you can detect any magical forces or anything that's going on with that sphere.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay back behind Rogar. I'm gonna give him a couple of pushes on his back, like, you go first.
Alright, is the light making any sound? Is it warm or cool?
No, you just see it. Did it say like a sphere? It's about 8 inches to 12 inches across, and it's just kind of rotating there. And it changes direction as it's rotating, and it has like a very light purplish type of aura on it, and then it has also smoke that's rotating, and the smoke kind of changes direction as it's rotating too.
I'm looking back and forth between the orb and the weapons. Ilsa's gonna get a hold of her sword, not pull it out yet, just ready herself in case shit goes down. She doesn't trust magic like this.
I'm going to take a look at the orb itself.
Okay.
I'll offer Rogar some advice. Touch it! Put your hand in it, Rogar! You tell me if it's hot!
Really, Donk?
I can just see these two bickering back and forth with one another the entire game. It's going to be great.
Really, Donk, you want me to sit? Not a good thing, I think.
You think it probably does possess some type of magic?
Well, is it doing anything to you?
You feel
I don't
sick?
feel anything from here.
Well, it's not hurting us, so I might leave alone.
Oh, I have some advice. I've seen when we were doing this before, there were lots of items, statues and stuff that would come to life when we interacted with them. I just thought I would remind you. Allura can tell you the facts, but I'll remind you that is how things work around here.
I walk over to Zorb.
Okay.
I'm going to see what magical properties or anything that I can ascertain from it as well. Let me do an Arcana check.
Yeah, for sure. You get up to it, and how are you inspecting this?
Well, I'm looking at it closely and kind of gathering if I can feel any magical properties from it, or if it's emanating any sort of magic. Not actually touching it.
Yeah, you don't.
She's doing everything but touching it.
Growl picks up a rock and tosses it at
Oh, for fuck's sake. Not another dog.
I think that's exactly what I was getting ready.
You're kind of looking at it, and you sense a type of magical energy coming off of it. But as for it, arcing energy to you, no. And the wind from the smoke that's kind of orbiting around the orb, it also kind of aerodynamically goes over your hand as you're kind of looking around it and stuff. So nothing happens. I mean, you're not touching the orb, but the smoke just kind of aerodynamically travel over your hand and then follows the contour of the orb up. So it just continues to change directions, and the orb itself, the sphere, is also rotating, and then after about 5 seconds it starts to spin a different way.
So what happened when Growl threw the rock into it?
Alright. So Growl threw the rock into it. Right?
Yeah,
So,
you were right there. You were right there.
So as Growl threw the rock into it and hit the orb actually, I don't want to say explodes, but it lashes out this energy, sort of like what you would recognize, Allura, as like a thunder wave. And now I need Allura, also Rogar, and Growl, all three of you, and also Ilsa, to make strength checks. All four of you to make strength checks. Because all four of you are, all of a sudden, you're consumed with these, I want to say, gust of wind or mini tornadoes and you're being pulled up into the air. And it looks like Alora, you failed, Growl failed, Ilsa failed, and let's see, Rogar. Strength check. Yep. Strength check. Wow, look at that.
Any chance of counterspelling this thing?
So yeah,
Probably
Rogar,
not.
you also, everybody is animated up into the air about 20 feet, so you're consumed with these tornadoes, these little miniature tornadoes, as they're kind of twirling around you, and then they consume you, and now you're being lifted, and your arms and feet and your legs are all flailing everywhere. And
is there any way I can grab him, since I'm right there?
You can. Let's see. You can. Sure. You can grab Ilsa. You can give me a strength check to see if it helps.
Let me give you a strength check. So I see.
Because she's
I see Elsa
being whisked up really quickly.
I see that probably everybody else is sucked up really fast. So I'm gonna take a couple steps up and do a giant, just a giant leap, and then grab her.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't. You try to hold on to her. Yeah, you get a hold of her foot, but the power of this wind, this vortex, just whisk her up into the air 20 feet. So all four of you guys are restrained. So let me put the restrained condition on you guys. Now, also, as this happens, there are all these swords on the ground. They start to animate. And as they animate, a purplish type of glow, basically engulfs the weapons. And they all start to slash around and whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. All these slashes, but there's nobody wielding them. So they're all animated. So let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay, are these swords that are whipping around, are they stationary and whipping around, or are they like moving around?
No, they're moving. It looks like they're all. It looks like they're all coming towards you, Donk. And everybody else is suspended 20 feet into the air.
Oh my God!
That was a great crit miss there, Alora. Great job.
Thank you.
So if you guys want to break free from this, you can. You can perform another strength check as your action to try to force yourself out of this whirling vortex. But if you do that, you're going to fall 20 feet. So, and then 5e, you're going to take fall damage, basically.
Okay, so remember I have, being a barbarian, level 7, I got something called Feral Instinct, which gives me advantage on all initiative rolls.
Okay. Yeah.
And also it's hard for me to be surprised, but we'll wait for that to happen.
No problem. So was 18 your highest roll?
Yeah, 16 plus 2, 18's the highest, yes.
Okay. So the swords, they're basically, eye level, a little lower than eye level with you. So well below the others as they're animated and restrained up into the air. So let's go ahead and start combat. So the first animated sword looks like a very, very big long sword. Moves over towards where you are at, slashing the air as it moves, and it attacks Donk. And I am also going to buy the monsters a +1 bonus tonight. So you can thank me for that.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. So, Donk,
go F yourself.
Dave, I need you to paste your credit card number in the channel before you buy anything.
Yeah, exactly. So the first sword comes up to you.
With security code on the back.
Slashes, hits, so you take a total of 7 slashing damage.
Okay.
The next animated sword moves here. Slashes at you also, which I will add the +1 modifier. It is also a long sword.
Are these guys
safe? Misses.
I mean, these are flying swords, but they're to. But
they're well below. Everybody's well above. Yeah. The cavern here is about It's about 25 feet tall. So they're animated 20 foot above you. And now this sphere is really starting to spin really, really quickly. And you can actually hear it's doing like a hum now. Like it's putting off some type of power. And these swords are now all charging towards you. So this next sword, let's see, oh yeah, it has plenty of movement. This sword actually flies to right here and attacks you with a +1. Let's see. And like I said, these things are slashing in the air, trying to get at you. You miss, you dodge out of this third long sword. The last one, it flies over towards Donk, tries to attack. Let's see what happens with this. Another miss. So Donk, it's your turn in the order, and you're now surrounded by these animated longswords as your party members are suspended 20 feet above you.
I'm almost thinking this is the perfect time to pull that ripcord and float up. But let me just think through this for a second. So the first thing I'm going to do is I get 2 attacks. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me because I don't now. I mean, I'm not so familiar with magic, and I don't remember ever seeing dancing or flying swords or whatever these things are. So
definitely do I know magic. You're impressed.
All right. Nice. As they're slashing into my back and giant wounds of. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my maul and do a kind of a 2-hit, and I'll try to attack the one I'm facing, and then with my second attack I'll hit the one to the right. So let me just do that real fast.
Okay. And it seems like these swords are going into like defensive postures, sort of like trying to riposte. And yeah, you miss this flying sword. It kind of ching, it parries your maul right off. But as you turn to the right, the second hit it hits the sword. Your blow is just too much for it. Your strength is just too much, and you overpower the parry. And poof. All right, so it takes 12 damage. So this sword is in pretty bad shape. You've actually taken, these swords aren't the best of quality. So the sword has, like, the tip of the blade is just broken off of it.
So with my bonus action, I'm going to yell to everybody, "Shoot these swords! Help out, dog!"
I'll be down there in a minute.
Growl, what say you?
Well, I don't like being restrained in this way. So I'm going to cast a freedom of movement on myself.
Okay.
And basically that spells and other magical effects can neither reduce the target speed nor cause the target to be paralyzed or restrained. And I'll get 5 feet of movement as well.
Alright, so you basically...
to get out of it, and then I can use my move action.
Alright, you touch yourself for the direction of the target's movement.
Oh, yeah.
Or cause the target... Alright, so you are restrained, so it causes you not to be paralyzed or restrained. Alright. So you spend your action to do that. You basically dissipate... Well, basically it just frees you from the actual vortex... vortex itself, and so you basically fall 20 feet. It doesn't say anything. You just basically, get rid of the restrained effect, so you're going to fall 20 feet. So let's do.
That happens sooner or later.
Yeah, let's do 2d6.
Pretty sure it wasn't going to sit me down, Jen.
Yeah, you only take 3 damage, so you take 3 bludgeoning damage. If you want to go ahead and add that to your wounds there. Okay. So you fall. Take 3 damage, no big deal. You get extra, so you fell 20 feet, so you got 5 extra feet of movement.
Yeah, that's for the action.
No. So I'm not even going to count the falling as part of your movement for the round, because it just happens so quick. So.
Oh, okay. Well, what I want to do really is just kind of run up over here.
Okay.
Now, wait, these swords are on the ground?
They're like eye level with you, so they're
Okay.
definitely suspended or animated around donks. Something that
Okay,
is
so if
really
I move
weird.
away from it, I'm gonna get attack of opportunity, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you
All
don't
right,
know,
well then-
so but yeah, you probably would.
Well, I'm going to just stay here then, and ready my shields.
Okay. Rogar, what say you?
Can I do some sort of movement or so while I'm in the air?
No, you're restrained, so you can use a strength check if you want to try to break free. So if you'd like to do a strength check, you can do that.
But I can still do a subtle spell if I want to.
Well, if you try to break free, it takes an action. So, yeah.
Yeah, but Dave, I have subtle spells, so I can do a spell without using any verbal or somatic.
Yeah, that's subtle spells.
Yeah.
But I think you still have to spend an action to do it. So
yeah,
you either
you still
break
have
free
to
or spell.
Yeah, that just satisfies the verbal and somatic part of your spell. But if you're restrained, and if you want to break free, you can do that. But it still takes an action, and your spell takes an action too. So
doesn't. I'm not going to break free at the moment. I just wanted to cast a subtle fireball at one of the swords. Trying to get one of them down.
So when you are restrained, a restrained creature, your speed is 0, and it cannot benefit from any bonus to its speed. Your attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. The creature has disadvantage also on dexterity saving throws. So, yeah, you can definitely attack. You'll have disadvantage. I mean, you've got the restrained on you. So, I mean, you can definitely do a firebolt, but it will be at disadvantage.
Then I'm going to do a strength check. Going to break free.
All right. Let's see how you do
In
that.
the tower or chat?
No, just do it in chat. As old Rogar tries to break free, still not enough, man. It's a pretty high DC, so you're still animated in air. In the air, you are still animated.
I'm on the tree.
All right, so you can go ahead and pass it to Ilsa, unless you have a bonus action you want to do.
No, nothing.
All right, Ilsa, what say you?
Alright, if I try to break free, can I use the balloon pack as the reaction so I don't have to do the strength check?
The balloon takes an action to use also. But
Okay,
when you fall 10 feet is only 1d6, so you fall 20 feet, it's 2d6. So out of character, I don't think I'd waste that balloon on falling 20 feet. I don't think I would. I wouldn't.
It was a question.
Yeah, no, I'm just
So,
giving you an answer. I don't think I would. I don't think I would use it. I would just.
But you were
take the
actually
2d6.
head first. You were upside down in the air, so you're gonna fall on your head.
No, it whisked everyone up to where their arms and legs are flailing out of the vortex, and they are still vertically. They're still head on top, feet on the bottom. But if
and another question. Would I be able to at least, I know I can't move to a different square, but like, would I be able to turn around?
Sure, yeah, you can turn around all you want, yeah.
Okay. So then I'm going to low swing attack at the one off to the cavern.
Okay, so they're out of they're out of your range. So they're about
they are.
5 feet. You're 20 feet up in the air.
Okay.
So, but if you have a ranged weapon, you can attack with your ranged weapon. It would be a disadvantage though, or you can try to break free and fall to the ground.
No, really only have the longsword and the warhammer. So I will do the strength check. Try to get out.
Okay. Alright, so your strength check fails and you are still animated also. Anything else for you? All right, so Laura, you're up now. As you are animated in the air, what
Yes.
is Laura doing?
I'm reaching into my bag of tricks, or rather, book of spells here, and I am. Before I do this, I want to make sure that you're going to be okay with this, Dave. My intent is to cast Misty Step, which basically allows me to teleport myself up to 30 feet away from my current position, but it doesn't say anything about being restrained. It's a verbal, so I only have to be able to speak, but think about that.
No, that sounds like a great move to me. So I believe that I think you might be able to do that. So let me check. Let me just double check Misty Step. I love Misty Step. If I ever played a mage, that would be one of the first ones that I would take.
Oh, it's always memorized, just in case.
Yeah,
Saved my
Berkeley used
ass
to do
many
it.
times.
Alright, so it's a bonus action spell too, which is really nice. So,
Yeah.
bonus action, instant, briefly surround yourself with a silvery mist. You teleport up to 30 feet in an occupied space. Bam! Yeah, if you want to... Where do you want to go within 30 feet? Remember, you're 20 feet up in the air too. So take that
I'm
into
20 feet up in
consideration.
the air.
Yep.
Correct. So I begin to speak my spell, and it's almost like an echo, one of those magical echoes of as I begin to speak, and suddenly I just disappear in a silvery mist out of this thing's grasp, and I'll take the 20 into effect, and just teleport myself right here. So I move 10.
Sure.
And
Perfect. Yeah, and the vortex is still spinning where you were once animated. So you still have your standard action if you want to blast something.
Absolutely.
All right. So what cantrip do you want to use?
Friends.
Friends. Yeah, that's right.
Friends. Let's
Will
be
you be my
friends.
friend, Sword?
I'll do Firebolt.
All right. Good job on the Misty Step. I like that.
Oh, no problem.
All right.
So which one do I hit? It's an attack, so...
Yep. Oh, yep.
Sorry.
No, Jesus Christ. No, I'm just kidding.
There's some advantage.
12.
That's
a miss.
You're not restrained anymore, so let's go ahead and you rolled a bunch of dice. So go ahead and roll that attack again.
Sorry, I was thinking I had to double click.
No, it's all right. 23 is a hit on the animated sword, the first one there. Go ahead and roll that beautiful damage. All right, so remember your firebolt probably does more damage, so.
That was Firebolt.
Yeah, remember firebolt scales to your level.
Oh yeah. Well, I clicked the token. Let me see.
Yeah, you should be doing 2d10. Just roll damage one more time.
Yeah, just roll again. At 11, you get 3d10, so yeah, tighten up over there. Throw me another d10. And then you need to change that pendant to 2d10. Very nice, 13 damage.
Yeah, keep in mind, I rarely ever cast Firebolt.
Do you know how to change that pendant?
Yes, I do, Dave. I can do
Awesome. I'm happy. All right, so Laura, I'll go ahead and pass the puck to,
Pass it on.
back to
Okay,
the
go ahead.
sword. Yeah, the sword that was here, that you actually hit, is going to now attack. Let's see. It's going to attack probably. I would say probably attack the druid. So let's go ahead and
just pop right in front of it.
I know.
Hello, sword.
Hello, druid. As he hits you, and a little mouth opens up and says, "Hello, druid," and smacks you for a little bit of slashing damage.
Yeah, hitting me is not be an issue.
Total of 6 damage.
No armor.
Yeah.